What a place to cut, huh? Well, luckily, when you don't have auto advance for text on, then it stops for you to read, no matter how short the text is. So, this cutscene's been stuck here at this trembling Elysian for like 10-15 minutes. Actually, I am. I wish he'd at least draw his weapon. Ooh, that's another mana clipper. Doesn't have the sail fin, though. So you're the scrags would have been dragging our good name through the mud. You're a red-billed leopard. We ain't done naught to you and yours. What do you want with us? I think I made my position pretty clear. You take on the mantle of Sky Pirate, you agree to a certain code of conduct. Codes ain't worth much if folk go breaking them. Frankly, lads, you're making us look bad, and we can't have that. No hard feelings, though, eh? He straight up killed him. Well, guns are really taking off. As for you, adventurer, it ain't often someone beats me to the scene, but then I'd expect not less from a hero such as yourself, Clyde. That is who you are, ain't it? I don't know too many other folk with one of them marvelous mana cutters the ironworks dreamed up. Well, then it seems you've saved me the trouble of tracking you down. I've been hoping to have a word with you, you see. I'll put it to you straight. I need someone to help out for the little venture I have in mind. Someone used to taking a few risks. Now this wouldn't be no black-hearted brigand's work, so don't go worrying yourself on that account. Unlike them thieving curs just now, I don't hold with robbing honest folk. For me, you see, the Sky Pirate's life is all about freedom. The freedom to go where you will, to find out what lies beyond the next cloud. If you're interested in joining us on an adventure worthy of the name, then look for me, standing in the northern reaches of the Blue Window. Someone will be waiting there to greet you. Is his airship technically not a mana cutter? I mean, it looks like a mana cutter, but without the sail fin. In fact, it is exactly a male mana cutter without the sail fin. Just cut off the fin, and that's what he's flying. But I love Sky Pirates. Not only is it a reference to Final Fantasy XII, but it's also mildly a reference, I'd like to think it's a reference anyway, to Skies of Arcadia, which was a game that an RPG that revolved around Sky Pirates, the Blue Rogues and the Black Pirates, in a world that was entirely like the Sea of Clouds, where everything floated in the sky, and you flew sailing ships through the air. Stacia, huh? That's far enough, stranger. If you value your life, tell me true. Did you stumble across this marker by chance, or are you here by invitation? Hey, look, the free company ranked up. This island that they have as their base is the reason it reminds me so much of Pirate Island, the Blue Rogue's home base in Skies of Arcadia. I mean, it's not exactly the same by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's not even... The only thing that's really similar about it is it's a floating island that they call their home base. But... it's one of my favorite areas in the game. I come to you in person, you still refuse my offer? Arrogant fool. On the subject of arrogance, Radlia? Is that Radlia, right? Or maybe Raidlia? I'm gonna say Raidlia. I bow to your superior knowledge, but that's all the bowing you'll get from me. As I've told you a dozen times before, I ain't no one's lackey. Oh, look. Hey, look, she's got the same eye patch as Clyde. And she's a hot, blonde Highlander. Anytime I see a blonde woman now, it makes me think of my girlfriend. My dear Leofard, how else do you propose to survive an expedition into the ghost ship? I would fear for my life if not but your feeble crewmates at my back. Well, I'd fear for my life with your mangy crew at my back, on account of them being murderous, untrustworthy bastards to a man. Ooh. Stings. I thought you cleverer than this, Redbill, but no matter. I always get what I want in the end. 'Tis merely a question of method. Sachet away. Now there's a face I've not seen before. You don't have the look of one of Leofard's little birds. He's a guest. You understand the concept, don't you? You know, when someone is invited instead of just bursting through the door whenever she damn well pleases. That was Redlia, captain of the Talons. She knows Leofard's the best sky pirate alive, and the fact he won't join her sticks in her craw. Are you gonna let him talk to you like that, Captain? We should teach him Redbill some respect. Patience. When all this is over, we shall see who rules the skies. It's got a lot of treasure in here. Hey there, hero. Ho there, hero. I promised you high adventure, and high adventure you shall have, for we plan to board the Sea of Cloud's very own ghost ship. For what folk have taken to calling one anyway, every day for the past few weeks has brought with it a new sighting of the selfsame vessel, a massive airship of queer design, adrift on the wind. Being a curious lot, there were a few buccaneers who tried exploring below decks, but none of them have been seen since. So naturally, they're saying the ship is cursed. Well, haunted. Like I said, an honest-to-God's ghost ship. My guess is she's another relic left behind by the Alicans. But we won't know for sure till we've had ourselves a good poke around inside, and liberated whatever ancient treasure she's got moldering away in her hold, of course. But before we start dividing up the spoils, we've got to find the damn thing, which is why we've been working on a special new device. Bah, finding it will be the easy part. What we can't do without is a veteran explorer, what ain't afraid to fling himself face first into the jaws of danger. Now I know you're a gallant champion of the people and all, but strip away the fame and glory and I'll wager you're still an adventurer at heart. So what say you, Clyde? Fancy a plunge into the unknown at the side of the Redbills? It's like, hell yeah. Then it's settled. Let's pay a visit to our crewmate, Utata. She's been... Oh god, another Lalafell. I can't escape them. I know I can't escape them. I know it's useless for me to complain. But I just... Ugh, I'm so tired of Lalafels. Why do they have to crop up in every damn thing? There could be a storyline where there's no Lalafels involved. Like, outside of maybe some, you know, little side character here and there. Like, no, none of the mainline NPCs are Lalafels. That would be perfection. The skies. At least she's got a cool outfit. Though any Lalafell that shows off their midriff is sort of dumb. Ecto compass. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. I think I got the mic turned up in time. Guess he's confident that there's monsters in there. So, that's yet another thing we can queue for. But before we queue up for it, let's go unlock Lost City Vanderpoor hard mode. Just because we can! Although I probably should have... whatever. I'll come back to it. There's another dungeon we can unlock in the Sea of Clouds. I still didn't unlock Fractal Continuum. I'm bad at this. Sometimes. Well, this is the part where you say, sometimes. Ugh. La-da-dee-da-da-dum. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. 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 Elemental's panicking. Yeah, got it. Uh-huh. You'd figure, since we already know where it's at, that would just be the unlock. But I guess they didn't want to put an unlock, you know, dungeon vortex right next to Rhea Osina. Because that would be annoying if you hadn't done White Mage Quest yet. Shazam! Let's see, we haven't done St. Mosiant, so leave that queued. And we'll also queue for Void Ark and for Fist of the Father. We'll queue for 4 things at once. Yep, yeehaw. Now let's use one teleport and go to OK's Undo. Because there should be a dungeon to unlock called Never Reap, which was In addition to the fractal continuum, was another dungeon on par of the same level of a therochemical research facility that was the first expert dungeons in Heavensward. Let's see, which quest is which? That's Beastman Dailies, which would be worthwhile for EXP, but I don't really care about those on Clyde. Reap what you sow. This is the quest we want. The Wakian, a great Sanua who nests in Neverreap, where the Vanu are forbidden to go. The wicked Vandu seek to hoard power and influence for themselves. They seize control of Neverreap and forbid poor Zundu from entry. They cannot keep out the great Netherling who tamed the White. Go to Neverreap, Netherling, and snatch the scale of the Wakian from the Vandu's evil clutches. Tanu Vanu shall be your guide. He awaits you outside the village. Pray go swiftly, Netherling, and chase away the coming storm. Where are you at? Okay, yeah, so he's all the way up there. Okay, cool. Because he said just outside the village. That is not just outside the village. And Neverreap's not a village. So, it's a ritual island like he just described, where mighty Sanua lives. The Wakian. Or Wakian, or something like that. Or maybe it's Valkion. I don't know. Sorry if my drinking bothers you. All the talking last night took its toll, and today my throat dries out. I would rather drink and have you hear that than start gagging and coughing before I can turn the mic up. I'd take a break, but I really wanna press this character forward because one, I'm really enjoying the replay here, and two, with the pushback with the delay of patch 5.3 to August 11th, there's actually a pretty good chance that I'll get Clyde to the end of Shadowbringers by then. So, because I've got like a whole month now, you know, like a month and a week. I've got like 5 weeks. So I wonder how these guys' size compares to a Rogadin. I'm pretty sure they're bigger than Rogadins too, because like a Rogadin makes Clyde look small, but you know Clyde's not small, so for a person. But like, look how small he is compared to these huge bird dudes, man. They are big. They are absolute units. And since we haven't gotten into anything yet, let's go ahead and queue for 5 things! Maybe we'll get into one. Maybe we won't. Let's see. Gods of Eld. Where's this one? Oh, Rising Stones. Okay. Yeah, we should go turn that in, actually. Okay. Yeah, well, we could do that. I'm trying to think about what other dungeons there are to unlock. As far as the main story goes, I think I mentioned this before, probably in the last half of episode 131. But, which was silent. But, there's, I think, 4 or 5 dungeons. Maybe just 3 or 4, but there's the Anti-Tower, there's Sorkai, there's Zelphatol, and the Wall. So there's at least 4 story dungeons that are behind main storyline quests, which we won't get to until we start plowing the main story. But other than that, I can't remember exactly where all the other quests are. So that's a thing. This is the unlock for Thornton Extreme. This is how they wound up doing a lot of the extremes later on, because they kept making bosses. They okayed it with this, and they kept making bosses that you kill in the course of the main story, but they wanted to have an extreme mode for. So they have the minstrel do a magical embellishment of it for you to do in your own mind. Oh, thanks, Yoshi P. I don't think they really get Yoshi P's hair color in real life correct on his Midlander representation as the Wandering Minstrel, but could be worse and it could be better. Wait, do y'all say anything new? Okay, they're searching. They're searching. So we got a couple of Huron sisters. One's a Midlander, one's a Highlander. It's kind of weird. Sometimes they use Highlander women to represent like older, mature hearers rather than, you know, actually being of the clan or whatever. Huh. I guess all these ones over here that I'm not able to converse with. I mean, the Selazin watched us fight Hoary Boulder, and these other ones fought at the Steps of Faith and also watched us fight Hoary Boulder. This fair fellow, huh? Yeah, I recruited him. He also watched me fight Hoary Boulder. So, I guess the base is getting taken care of at least. I guess I kind of glossed over checking in on it when we kicked the Crystal Braves out. Now, if the queue happens while we're in the cutscene, I'm just going to take the queue and we'll rewatch the cutscene at a later date. He's wearing a mask. A white mask. Unukalhai is my name, and I serve a friend. I sought you out that I might alert you to the rising threat of beings known as icons. You are aware of the threat, you say, but I speak not of the primals, with which you are exceedingly well acquainted. It may interest you to know that the term icon and the beings to which it refers precede the Garlean Empire by eras. You see, it is The name by which the Allagans created are called godlike beings, the dark divinity Odin among them, and the Garleans, who seek to emulate the glory of ancient Alak, have simply availed themselves of it. Pray permit me to continue the tale. Oh, it's Urianger. I guess his Urianger senses were tingling. As the Warrior of Light's comrade, my participation is but to be expected. After all, the matter doth pertain to the very fate of this star. The icons of Eld and the... Oh, look, there's a cue for something. Well, we'll have to come back to this. You know, something I forgot to do is I forgot to fly up to the top of Aziz's Law and show you the statues of the Warring Triad. And make commentary on them. At least that wasn't missed. The Fist of the Faja. Looks like the inside of a submarine. With a little bit more moving parts. Faust, huh? Final Fantasy XI references abound. It won't last long. It's basically a door boss DPS check. And in Savage mode, a lot of people couldn't beat it. It was a truly difficult check for a lot of people. I think at a minimum you needed all your DPS to be able to deal 1,000 DPS. And some DPS at the start of Heavensward, even in the item level 180 gear and 190 gear mix, they couldn't pass the check. Like Machinist was only capable of like 940 DPS or something like that. And obviously Samurai didn't exist. Neither did Red Mage, nor Dancer. Oh, I shouldn't have skipped this. Whoops. Well, whatever. Maybe I'll show it to you sometime. Basically, that door behind there opens up and he comes out. I knew that would happen eventually, but I would skip a battle intro cutscene. I have to fight the urge every time. Or the reflex, rather. Close to 21,000 damage with that hit. If you think we're vaporizing this boss, you'd be correct. We're so far beyond entry level here that now when this other one comes out, you want to start attacking it right away because 22,000, damn. Samurai strong. But yeah, you see it starts doing self-detonate here. Alright, we got it, we got it. There's way more mechanics that go with that fight, but there was no chance we were even going to be able to see them, so. Just, you know, Heavensward things. Watch this. We're gonna get a cutscene and dumped back in the Dravanian hinterlands or something. Expertly done, adventurer. Oh, this is adorable. Blenders are unwise to come, but most of all is treasure hunter. What she seeks is not here, not in all of Gordius. It's quick think Saul thoughts, and he's got a cat. As I live and breathe, quick thinks all thoughts, master of the Illuminati. Gobbies are backstrapped with boom dust. Uplander shoots, everybody kabooms. Enigma Codex. Foolish Gobby, secrets are kept silent. Tongue flaps never traded with outsiders. Has Quick Think's not ordered so many times? But Master, forgive noise making of empty head. Gobby did not think. Please, Gobby, will take any punishment, just not worst one. Wonder where that hatch leads. Back outside, maybe? It's not how we got in here, that's for sure. Oh, but look, it did lead outside. How about that? It always weirds me out to see Alexander and, like, referenced and stuff, because, I mean, my actual name is Alexander, so... I used to joke about killing myself when we did this raid. Which, coincidentally, this raid actually came out about a year and a half, or a year and, no, a year and about 16 months after I actually did attempt to commit suicide once, and well, that's a very dark story that's really not appropriate for a Let's Play video, so that's all I'm going to say about it. We could queue for something else, but we don't really have that much time. So let's see. Oh yes, we can still go unlock the fractal continuum. Also, if you haven't noticed, I don't really map out the plateaus at all, or the storyline for that matter. I just sort of decide what I think to myself before I record. What could I do in a 1 hour period, you know, that would make the most sense to do next? And then I do it. And a lot of the times it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, it's like hidden by a frickin' map thing. Where also, interestingly, we're not actually going to get to see the Heavensward era exactly like it was, because not only, you know, the things like Direct Hit exist, and Samurai exist, and, you know, Dancer exist and stuff, but there's a large-scale instance called the Diadem, and they eventually decided that user interest in the Diadem had gotten so low that they weren't going to do any more updates for it, and that they would actually eventually just take it out of the game in its original format. Which its original format was, you had to have Mission Ceruleum, and you either had to get into a full party at the ISHGARD airship landing, or you had to get into a full party in your free company house if your free company had airships, because they came out with airships. Then you use the Mission Ceruleum. It lets you queue into the instance. It's big floating islands, dinosaurs, monsters. You had to attune to air, you know, the air aether nodes every time. And let me show you these statues real quick. Here's Sophia, also known as Goddess from Final Fantasy VI. And here's Sephiroth, also known as, I think, Fiend in Final Fantasy VI. And here is Zervan, known as Demon in Final Fantasy VI. And obviously the statue doesn't even actually incorporate his entire body the way it's supposed to. But, oh well. And what's interesting about these is when Heavensward was first released, you see how they're all mossy and stone? You know, they look like they're made out of stone. When Heavensward was first released, they didn't have that texture on them. They were just stark silver, much like Regula Van Hydrus's armor. But, you know, that's neither here nor there, I guess. fractal continuum, an old warship that was converted into a museum of Allegan technology. If there's any place we can find a new body for Gilead, it'll be there. It's just a short trip away from the matter conduit 6 to 7, or 67 to boot. Or 6 tack 7? Whatever. We'll figure it out. I mean, we could just fly there. I mean, I can see it. It's a spiky building, but you know. Whatever. We'll go to it the proper way, I suppose. Blip, transport is available from this location to the fractal continuum, the greatest storehouse of technological marvels in all of Alleg. Blip, blip, the fractal continuum is temporarily closed to tourists. Access is limited to those with level 3 security clearance or higher. Blip, unauthorized visitors will be removed via the continuum's anti-intruder defense system. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy your visit. Yeah, that's another dungeon unlocked. Woohoo! Now I guess we can go back to Mordona and see if we can get that cutscene in with Sexy Bitch and Unakolhai. Sexy Bitch is clearly slang for Urianger. It's much easier to say, for one thing, and for another, it's one less syllable. Hurry up and load in already. Couldn't they have just put Unakolhai here instead of this stupid destination marker? My thanks for coming. You said coming. Yeah, icons. Blah, blah, blah. Proceeds Garland Empire by arrows. And they simply availed the term. And Sexy Bitch wants to continue the tale. Ah, Sexy Bitch, how kind of you to join us. The icons availed. In the distant past, these mighty beings had offered fierce resistance to the Allegan Empire. However, they eventually fell to the men of Alleg, who devised the means by which to capture them. And it did not end with capture, as you well know, for the Allegans also learned how to harness the Icon's power. They refined this knowledge at the Etherochemical Research Facility on Azzy's Law, and within the centrifugal crystal engine, they sealed 3 of the beings, the Warring Triad. It was first and foremost to acquire the infinite power of the Warring Triad that the Archbishop did seek Azzy's Law. But in the wake of his defeat, the bindings which confine the Icons were severely damaged. Doubt not, but that they will fail completely ere long. Know that we do not condemn you for striking down the Archbishop. You were simply fulfilling your destiny, and yet, were the Warring Triad to be released into the world, unimaginable destruction would ensue. Take heart, for there is hope still. Through swift action, we may yet prevent their awakening and see them resealed. But in dealing with this new threat, our first step must be to contend with the old. 2 savage gods are returned, I fear, summoned once more by their worshippers, and at strength far surpassing their previous incarnations. They speak of the primals Ravana and Bismarck. If left unchecked, they will inevitably seek to seize the power of the warring triad. This will serve to feed the confluence of chaos and hasten the Icon's awakening. To wit, we must needs vanquish both their kinds. I pray thee, however, to first focus thy gaze upon the primals, ere we turn our attention to these Icons and their fitful slumber. I shall return to the waking sands forthwith, and consider such measures as are available to us. Meanwhile, I bid thee attend to the task of eliminating the primals. Young Unokohai shall assist thee. Rest assured, he is not our enemy, for the time being at least. Huh. So Urianger, like, just straight up said that this little midget in a mask could eventually be our enemy. A diabolical Bismarck, huh? So we gotta beat Ravana and Bismarck again, huh? Well, I'll see if my friend wants to do these with me later. I might record showing the extremes. It'll be similar to how I showed Coil on the extremes at 50. I'm basically gonna ask either my brother or put up a PF for some level 80s to just truck it for me, because obviously I'm more than well geared enough to beat Bismarck and Ravana Extreme, but there's no reason to, you know, put up a level synced party for it or anything, because you'd actually have to contend with a few of the mechanics, which people have long since forgotten. And for another, a level 80 person can beat Ravana in like 2 minutes. You know, Bismarck, pretty much the same. So, I might show those. And another thing I might do is I might show them on my main, and then just do them off screen on Clyde, just so I don't have to ask anyone to, like, bear with me while I'm waiting on cutscenes in the recording. Because, I mean, I guess there would be, well, no, well, I'll figure out what I want to do with it, and we'll get it done. I kind of forgot that you had to do the extremes to get to the Warring Triad. I don't remember having to do that, but it's been a long time, so And Bismarck drops I-175 weapons, and I think, and Ravana drops I-190 weapons, which were the big deal weapons at one point, when level 60 was new. The two extremes were the big deal, the dope show, the grand poobah, as it were. Now, let me think. Are there any other dungeons I need to unlock that I can unlock? Aw. Well, we got Google Hard Mode. Well, that's a 60 cap anyway. There's Lost City, there's Samal, Fractal, Never Reap. Well, I can't remember them right now. So, I'm going to draw this video to a close. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and have a nice day.